Women are so threatened by MGTOW, men going their own way, as men are done with their BS.
It's a great question. I think a lot of women are also like men and afraid of rejection because that's a common human fear. I've also had to get better at doing this too, like putting myself out there and approaching guys and being totally okay with the fact that they very well might reject me. And so I think exposure therapy is a real thing. The more that you put yourself out there, the more that you expose yourself to the thing that you're afraid of, the less consequential the rejection feels. And it's literally all a product of your mind and how you internalize these stories. So yeah, women, go feel empowered and go shoot your shot. It's not a big deal at the end of the day.
This is great. Frankly, I bet if more women started approaching, then men would feel more comfortable approaching also, and people would start talking to each other. It's not being rejected men are afraid of, it's how we're going to be rejected that we're sacred of. Exposure therapy only works if you are getting varied results. If all you are getting is the most negative outcome no matter what you change, eventually you're going to rationalize avoiding said negative.
Let me tell you the story of why I deleted all of my dating apps, and let me give you a little spoiler. I'm single, okay? So it wasn't because I found the love of my life. No, that's for dang sure quite the opposite. First of all, I am very particular about who I swipe on. I look at your bio, I look at your goal, not your goals, but the little tidbits they have about you. And I only swipe on men who are Christian, who are looking for a long-term relationship. So you would think that you know, I'd find some good ones. No. That was not the case for me. Out of the blue, just random disgusting texts, and I'm like, does your mom know? Does your pastor know? That's crazy. And it actually started making me hate myself a little bit because all of them said one thing. Yeah, and I really, really, really hated it. And I was hating my life, looking for validation, you know what I mean, as we do. It's fine. No, I wasn't actually looking for validation, but if I was bored, I'd be on them apps, right? Started receiving the same messages over and over and over again from different men. And I said, this is no longer beneficial for my mental health. It's actually deteriorating it. My body image, mental health, and yeah. And I'm sure the things that the guys were saying to some girls, they'd be like, thank you, I love it. Not to me, no. So let me tell you what, it's really hard being a bigger girl on dating apps because you're blessed in certain areas, and that's the thing people focus on. And I'm like, oh, well, is anybody actually gonna like me for me? Anybody? Hello? Anybody out there? No? Cool. And so deleted all of them because the shorty couldn't do it anymore. A shorty could not do it anymore, and let me tell you, I feel numb. Yeah, my life is so much better. So do with that information what you will, but I love you so much. Bye.
Real Christian men aren't on dating apps, but they're also not at church singles events. So where are they? I'll tell you exactly where they are. They're married. The genuinely good Christian men who wanted families and took faith seriously got married young, usually to women from their church communities in their early to mid-20s. They didn't wait around. They found compatible Christian women and locked it down. The Christian men still single and available in significant numbers fall into a few categories. Men who aren't actually that serious about their faith and use Christian as branding. Divorced men with baggage, often with kids in complicated situations. Men with issues, social awkwardness, lack of ambition, or other traits that made women pass on them. Older men who were too picky, career-focused, or simply never found the right person. The small percentage of quality Christian men who are genuinely single, attractive, faithful, and relationship-ready are getting swarmed by every single Christian woman in their orbit. They have options and are being extremely selective. Here's what she's really experiencing. She either missed the window when quality Christian men were actively looking, her 20s, or she's now competing for a drastically smaller pool of men with every other single Christian woman her age, and the available men aren't choosing her. The good ones got chosen already. What's left is limited and highly competitive. If she's asking where they are, the answer is simple. They're not available to you anymore. They were there in your 20s, they got married. You're now dealing with what remains.
Every single time I have like a weird dating experience slash a man says something crazy or off the wall, I have to come back on here, make sure that this is a universal experience that everybody is going through, and it's confirmed. It is. It's all over my For You page, like dating advice, whatever, dating TikTok. And I need like a light for this because I'm really confused. So let's do a backstory. When I was at work a few months back, like the end of last year, I was like talking to my friends, like they're all happily married and one of them is a man, and they're like, you just need to be like more upfront, like tell them upfront like what you want. And like I feel like I like wasn't doing that because like I did have a fear of like coming off like too overzealous or like maybe scaring them away like too quickly, right? And so I just got my dog a new toy at Target. This is like, oh, my light died, hold on. I have to wait for my light to charge. Anyway, that pour was way too light. So I'm telling them, you know, I don't want to come off like too upfront, like too forward. And they're like, I feel like that's like why you're finding these men, that like you're hanging out with them and like maybe they're expecting to not ever really be anything. It's super casual and I don't want that, obviously. So I'm like, okay. So fast forward, like I don't date anyone for like a while because I'm just like over it. I re-download Hinge. First bad idea that I had was re-downloading Hinge, but anyway, here we are. We all do it. Download, delete, download, delete. It's like a girl thing. And it's the same men that I've seen on there. And this guy that I've seen on there for like a year or maybe even longer, I never really like thought that he was like cute, but then like for some reason like I thought he was cute this time, and like he turned out to be super attractive, thankfully. So anyway, I matched with him and we start like texting and talking, and like it's like kind of moving like really fast, but like I'm not one of those people that can like gauge like, is this fake or is this genuine? I legitimately think that like you should be talking to me like that from like day one till the day that I go in the grave. So like in my opinion, like was it love bombing? No, I guess maybe it was. Like I don't know what love bombing really means, because like I just felt like you should like love bomb me for my whole life. We're talking, like we're being super romantic, we're having fun, we're flirting, we have a date planned. Well, we ended up hanging out sooner than the date, and like it was like fun, it wasn't awkward, it wasn't like abnormal, nothing weird happened. I can't wait to see you again, I can't wait to see you again, very mutual. Then I'm like, okay, maybe before I go out with this man again, I should ask him like, what are your like intentions of like being on Hinge, because like it's hard to kind of like understand people's intentions on Hinge that are men, because like usually it's not really anything serious. So I was like, maybe before we like start going further with this, I should ask. And my friends told me like, you should tell them up front like what you're looking for. And so I basically just like, I have a question, I'm like kind of looking for a relationship. Are you like, is that why you're on Hinge? Like in the future, would you be looking for a relationship, or are you just kind of like casual, whatever, looking for a hookup maybe? I don't know. And this man literally just like, I don't like you anymore, out of nowhere. Now, that's not the problem. That's fine. Like if you don't like me, I can accept that. Like it's fine. It's not everybody in the world is gonna love me. But we get to talking about it. I'm like, okay, what went wrong? What happened? He was like, well, when you asked me that, this is how I perceived it. I was like, but that's not how I meant it. He was like, well, we only hang out once, and like you asked me for commitment already, and like I've had girls ask me in the past for commitment too soon. And like, that was like a red flag about you. And I was like, I was literally just asking your intentions. Would you be looking for like a relationship in the future? Or are you like not really into that? So that is what I've tried. I've tried to like be so casual and not bring it up the event that I might scare them. This time I tried to go the other way and I tried to say like, yeah, I am looking for a relationship. Would you be looking for one, or else I don't think that we should move forward, whatever. Since we're like texting and talking a lot, he was like, no, I don't want to hang out with you anymore. This is not going to work. Timing is bad. All of it. Just like everything out of the playbook. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But at this point, like I'm like being like mature about it, because I'm like, okay, like you're a really good guy. Like the reason I was like so excitable and like super over the top was because like I'm not used to like seeing normal guys that are like hot and like not poor and like not losers. And like this guy was like so cool and so nice. Like it was probably like the first guy in like a really long time that I could like see myself like dating potentially if I got to know him and like I decided I liked him. I like will not match with someone on Hinge. I am somebody that has like one match. Like if they matched me, there's like 600 of them, like I'll only match with like one or two of them, because I'm like super picky. So I was like super mature about it, and I was like, okay, you know what, it's fine, like you're cool, I'm not mad. I go back in our text because like this man was making me think that like I was the only one that was being like overly like romantic and affectionate too soon. It was definitely both of us like the whole time since day one. So I just like definitely feel like an idiot. That's fine. But here we are. We're back to the drawing board. Am I going back on Hinge? No. I didn't delete it this time just because like I'll probably go back on it eventually. So like uploaded some like cute pics on there, some like freshness. And like I said, I don't like a lot of the guys on there, but that is where we're at right now. So I am just like super confused. Like if you are seeing someone like up front, like it's new and you really like them and they might like mutually really like you back, or they're being fake about it like this person was, do you think that it's like the right thing to ask up front, like what are you looking for, like what are your intentions? Or do you think that's like too forward and like that's gonna scare them off? Because like we all know that the C word commitment will scare a man away so fucking fast. Like I was like, what are you talking about asking for commitment? Like, I'm literally asking what your intentions are, like, on a dating app. Anyway, that's the tea. There's more tea coming because I have more. I always have more dating tea. It's just, like, it's so crazy. Like, it's embarrassing. I'm literally almost 30. I've never really had, like, a long-term relationship. Maybe, like, a couple that were on and off, but nothing, like, normal and healthy. So, oh my God, pray for me. And I will pray for all of you that are also in this like weird dating cycle, because there is not a lot of good, smart, intelligent, attractive, not poor men available for us. Cheers.
Let me explain exactly what happened here and why he made the right call. She asked, "What are your intentions?" way too early, probably on the first date or shortly after. That question, asked prematurely, signals several things to men. You're trying to lock down commitment before he's even decided if he likes you. You're more focused on securing a relationship status than genuinely getting to know him as a person. You're potentially high pressure, anxious, or have a checklist mentality rather than organic connection. You're interviewing him for a position rather than dating him. He interpreted this correctly. She's not interested in him specifically. She's interested in filling a boyfriend or husband role, and he's auditioning for it. That's not attractive. That's transactional. So he removed himself because he recognized she's approaching dating as a transaction with timelines and pressure, rather than as a natural process of connection and compatibility. His response wasn't exhausting, it was honest and self-protecting. He's not interested in being your placeholder or jumping through hoops to prove himself worthy of a relationship you're trying to force prematurely. Men aren't exhausting for having boundaries and walking away from pressure. You're exhausting for demanding commitment clarity before you've even built genuine connection. Let things develop naturally. Stop interrogating men about intentions on early dates. If you can't handle organic relationship development without immediate answers and guarantees, you're not ready to date. You're ready to fill a vacancy. And quality men will keep walking away from that energy.
I hate dating. I always have. I've never been a dater. My New Year's resolution is to try and go on more dates. I've had one boyfriend, did not, horrible experience, would never recommend to anyone. And I don't go on the apps, but I did download Raya again. Like, how embarrassing. My man is not on Raya, but the better looking men are on Raya, I'm not gonna lie. I've never had a Hinge. I've never been on the apps, but I fear there's no hope because I'm so happy being alone. I have a great job. My brothers, my mom, they treat me like they set the standards high. So I just fear a man who I want is never gonna come. And what I want is like not hard. It's like the bare minimum, but we can't find the bare minimum these days. Can anyone else relate?
Let's be very clear about what women call bare minimum. 6 feet tall or taller, that eliminates 85% of men, financially stable with a good career, earning significantly more than her, emotionally intelligent and great communicator, therapist-level emotional labor, physically fit and attractive, better looking than most men, confident but not arrogant, ambitious but always available, masculine but emotionally vulnerable, no baggage, no excess drama, ready for commitment, wants kids or doesn't, depending on her preference. That's not bare minimum. That's the top 5 to 10% of men. What you're calling bare minimum is actually an elite tier man that most women are competing for. Meanwhile, here's what men actually consider bare minimum. Decent personality, not obese, cooperative and pleasant, some basic domestic skills, reasonable expectations, low drama. And most modern women can't even meet that. So when you say you can't find the bare minimum, what you're really saying is, the top tier men I feel entitled to aren't choosing me, and I refuse to consider the actual average men who would. You can find men, you just can't find the exceptional men you think you deserve while bringing average or below value yourself. That's not a shortage of bare minimum men. That's your inflated standards meeting your actual market value. And the market is telling you that you're not as valuable as you think you are. Lower your standards to actual bare minimum or stay single complaining about how 2026 dating sucks. Your choice.
Decentering men is actually the best decision you will ever make. All of the time that you spend thinking about what a man thinks about you, what he's doing, like when you guys are gonna talk next, whether he really likes you or not, what other girls he's into. I now just spend all of that time literally fantasizing about my dream life. And the craziest things have been happening to me since then. Like 1 in a million chances of happening, but they've been happening to me. And I swear it's because I've decentered men and just chose to focus on myself. Like that feeling that you get when a man gives you attention, other things can give you that feeling. You just need to find them. For me, it's creating and talking to other female founders. Like I had a female founder that I really respect and honestly inspired me to start my business respond to a DM, and oh my God, that felt better than any time a guy has ever responded to me. So I highly recommend finding whatever your passion is and decentering men ASAP.
Her sign of decentering men is following her passion, which for her is creating and talking to other female founders. Great. Let's check back in 10 years and see how fulfilled she is. Here's what decentering men actually means: prioritizing career, friendships, and personal interests over relationships and family, then being shocked when you end up alone, childless, and wondering why success doesn't feel as satisfying as promised. She's following her passion now, building businesses, networking with other female founders, filling her time with work and same-gender connections, and she feels empowered doing it. Fast forward a decade, she's 40 plus, successful maybe, surrounded by other successful single women having the same conversations. No partner, no kids, no family being built, just work, girl dinners, and the creeping realization that career achievements don't keep you warm at night or give your life deeper meaning. Decentering men sounds empowering until you realize men aren't just romantic interests. They're the other half of family creation, partnership, and building a legacy that outlasts you. By decentering them, you're also decentering the possibility of marriage, children, and the traditional fulfillment that comes from family. Her passion is creating and talking to other women doing the exact same thing. That's an echo chamber of women convincing each other that not needing men is freedom until they're all in their late 30s, 40s, single, and privately miserable while publicly pretending they chose this. Follow your passion. Decenter men. Just don't be surprised when you end up exactly where this path leads, alone, childless, and filled with regret that no amount of business success can fix.
So I had a guy exclusively ask me not to talk about him on TikTok. And before you say, okay, but you're talking about him right now, we're not talking anymore and he's not even on TikTok, so he'll be fine. This guy was the first dating app date that I had ever been on in my entire life. I had just gotten out of a serious relationship, my high school sweetheart of 2.5 years, and I got on the dating apps and I matched with this guy on Tinder and we went on a date. I talked about it a little bit in a previous video. We started talking and he told me that he was not looking for anything serious, and I really appreciated the honesty and was kind of open to exploring that option as well, because I really do enjoy the conversation with him. I think he was fun to hang out with from what I can remember. So we had been texting and just very casually chatting. So it came up in conversation, naturally, that I make dating content on TikTok. As we were talking about the type of content I make, I'm like, do you mind if I kind of share our experiences as we're navigating this like casual situationship type thing? And he gave me a very hard no, which is totally okay. That's why I asked. He said that he just likes to keep any sort of relationship he has very private. And I'm like, okay, I totally respect that. So now that we have not talked in like 2 days, I assume we're probably done exploring that. The last thing we said is he was like telling me about how he has family in town this weekend, so he's not gonna be super available to chat. And I said, no worries, enjoy your time. No hard feelings at all. But this was the first time that I like kind of asked a guy for their permission about posting a TikTok about them. As I've said before, most of my stories are from the past or situations with guys that have already ceased or situations with guys that are no longer currently happening. As I explore posting content that is like real time, and I have posted real time content, it's normally not super serious situations. I just want to be honest and open with a guy that I'm talking to, like, hey, I'm going to be sharing all of our business to thousands of people, if that's okay with you.
So no means yes if they doesn't find out? He explicitly says do not talk about him, and you completely disregard that. What's the point of asking them? Even though y'all stopped talking, you shouldn't be bringing him up. That's the one thing he asked you to not do. It's about respect.
Hello. I'm Sarah Sparkles. I'm a 43-year-old single lady. I live in Oklahoma. I work in mortgage lending. I'm a face painter on the weekends. I'm a photographer, and I also manage social media for businesses. I'm here advocating for men and talking about dating in my 40s, and wanted to introduce myself again. Hi, tell me about you in the comments. I want to know you, okay?